Hello and welcome to our practice. We are going to start this practice today straight in Yoga Mudrasan Vajrasan using a block and a blanket to deepen the penetration of our entry into our practice. So grabbing those things and let's meet back on the mat. Placing the block in front, it's going to be for our forehead, so you can choose from the different heights of the block as needed, or you could add blankets on top if your forehead can't reach the block. And then this blanket, unfolding it, making a little roll, and the size of the roll is going to depend on the vehicle that you're in. Basically, you want to go as thick as possible, but you want to be able to lift those bottom ribs up and over. So if you go too thick and the ribs can't come over, then you need to unroll and make a smaller roll. So this one is perfect for me. Our hands are going to hold the blanket once we're in, and we're going to be pulling the blanket back and down. But first, let's put our hands on our front rib cages and lift them up and broaden them so you feel the abdominal cavity lengthening. And now unfolding over that roll, checking that your block is in the right position for your forehead. And then hands to the blankets, forehead to the block. And with the hands pulling the blankets back and down as we extend the trunk forward. Soft, smooth inhalations and exhalations. Feeling the abdomen gently soften with each breath. Feeling how the roll of the blanket combined with the breath and the softness of the abdomen is creating a deep internal massage to all of the organs. Keep pulling with the hands. The skin of the forehead gently moving towards the nose. The trapezius muscles and the shoulder blades moving down the back so that the cervical spine is long. Keep pulling with the hands, keep that active, feeling the femur bones coming into the hip sockets. And then coming back up and moving the blanket to the side. We're now going to come to Adho Mukha Svanasana with the blocks for our forehead, so taking the height that works for you. And we're going to hold the corners of our mat so that the inner elbows are facing forward, and we push down and forward with the hands as we move the weight of the body back. So just check that your block is going to be in the right place. Let it tuck in here because I can feel that my clothing is not going to be in the right place. Okay, here we go. Entering Adho Mukha Svanasana with the heels lifted and the knees bent. Now look at the feet and really lift the heels higher. We have a tendency to think the heels are lifted, but actually they can go even more. So we're really feeling the joints of the toes, spreading the toes, broadening the base of the foot. And with the knees bent like this, we can easily access that sensation of the femurs coming into the hip sockets. And holding that in place, travel to the hands, to the arms. Make sure that the hands are pressing down and pushing forward. And then make sure that your upper arms are rolling away from each other, so the inner elbows are continually trying to face more and more the front of the mat. And this is keeping the shoulders broad. And now coming to the head, to the skull,
making sure that the forehead is on the block and the skin of the forehead is moving towards the nose. And on the next exhalation, straightening the legs, keeping that connection of the femurs coming into the hip sockets as we straighten. The heels are still lifting. And on the next inhale, inhale specifically into the buttocks and make them light like balloons coming up to the sky with each inhale. And now let's walk our feet forward, feet the width of the mat, releasing our hands, fingertips onto the mat. Lift the arches of the feet, press the heels down. Inhale, look up. Feel your kneecaps gripping up, your thighs gripping up. And then exhale, holding the backs of the legs and pulling ourselves down, Uttanasana. The knees love to ungrip. Every few seconds, once they know you're not watching them, they'll just drop, the quadriceps will drop. So keep pulling the knees up, pulling the quadricep muscles up. And from the inner knee to the inner groin, feeling a continual lifting sensation. And see how that adds to the liftingness, the lightness of the buttocks that we were looking at in Downward Dog. Keep inhaling into the buttocks, lifting them up. And now releasing the hands, placing the hands on the hips. Press firmly into the heels, inhaling up. Elbows back, outer arms back, front shoulders back. And stepping the feet together. And finding Tadasana. Okay, coming into Utthita Trikonasana. So just moving the blocks and anything that's in the way out to the side and standing at the front of our mat, stepping the feet apart nice and widely. Turning to the right. Make sure the heel is lined up with the front arch of the foot. Stretch the arms and lift the chest. Now grip the legs up. Inhale. Exhale, reaching to the right, making sure that that front buttock bone is not poking out as we come down and find Utthita Trikonasana. Now we're going to inhale into the bottom lung and exhale from the top lung. So learning to directionalize the breath specifically, inhaling into the bottom lung, exhaling from the top lung. One more time, inhaling from the bottom lung, exhaling from the top lung, and coming up and turning to the other side. Left hand side, check the alignment of the front heel with the front arch of the back foot. Re-grip those legs. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhaling to the left, reaching, making sure that front buttock bone is being moved forward as we come down and find Utthita Trikonasana. Inhaling into the bottom lung. Exhaling from the top lung. And again, inhaling into the bottom lung. Exhaling from the top lung. Keep the legs gripped. One last time, inhaling into the bottom lung. And exhaling, turning from the top lung. Coming up. Inhaling, lifting, turning the feet in, and jumping or stepping the feet together. Okay, taking a block now.
Jatara Parivartanasana with the block on the outside edge of the hip. So I'm going to turn this way so you can really see. And we want to lie down and use the long edge of the mat for our arms. The hands will hold the mat and press down and away. So the arms are vibrant. Now let's take the block and move it to the outer left hip and tuck it right in so it's touching. We're going to be rolling onto that block. So hands in place, the elbows are lifting up. Lift the feet off the ground, preparing to bring the knees to the left so that we're twisting the trunk to the right. Inhale. Exhale, bring the knees over and roll onto the block. So you're fully on the block now and bring the knees to the left elbow. Inhale. And exhale, turn and twist the trunk to the right. Keep the arms vibrant, the face relaxed. Now let's inhale into the left lung and exhale from the right lung. And again, inhaling, filling the left lung. Exhaling from the right lung. And one more time, becoming more sensitive with the breath each time. And then bringing the legs back up and feet to the floor. Moving the block now to the outside edge of the right hip. Tucking it right in. Hands utilizing the mat to keep the arms vibrant. Bring the feet off the ground, Jatara Parivartanasana. And with an exhale, bringing the legs over to the right, towards the right elbow. And with our next exhale, turning the trunk, the head to the left. And now beginning the directionalizing of the breath. Inhale into the right lung. Exhaling from the left lung as we turn and twist. Inhaling into that right lung, expanding, broadening, lifting. Exhaling from the left as we twist. And one more time, really creating that sensitivity around the breath. And then bringing the legs back up, feet to the ground, and rolling over, coming back up. Okay, coming to wall now with our block, Parshvakonasana, with the block between our front knee and the wall. Right leg first in front, place the block, and move that left foot back far enough that you're really having this thigh parallel as much as possible to the mat. Push into the outside edge of the back foot. Let the block push against the kneecap to travel up the thigh, femur bone heads into the hip sockets. Stretch the arms, starting from Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale. Exhale, reaching forward. Fingertips coming down onto the floor. Stretch that top arm up. Now turn the top arm and extend it. Find the wall and use the hand on the wall to help you to turn and twist more and more to the sky. Keep that back inner knee tight, squeezed. And now let's inhale into the bottom lung. And as we turn and twist, exhale from the top lung. And again, inhale into the bottom lung. And exhale, turn and twist from the top lung. Can move this top hand back one more time. Inhale into the bottom lung. And exhale, turn and twist. And then bring the arm back up. Coming through Virabhadrasana 2. Holding the block and releasing. Changing sides. Left leg forward. the block between the front of the kneecap and the wall. I have these ridges and these panels which make things a little complicated sometimes. Moving this back leg back enough that we get this parallel action with the thigh. Squeezing the back inner knee, pushing into the outside edge of the foot. Lift the arms, Virabhadrasana 2. Feel the left femur bone coming into the hip socket. Inhale. Exhale, reaching to the left. Coming down. Stage 1. Turning the top arm. And extending, finding the wall. And using the arms to help you turn and twist over and over again. And now directionalizing our breath. Inhale, fill the bottom lung. Exhale from the top lung, turn and twist. Make sure your back inner knee is tightly squeezed, that the head of the left femur bone is still coming into the hip sockets. One last time, inhale into the bottom lung. And exhale, turn and twist from the top lung. And coming through Virabhadrasana 2. And then taking the block and coming back up. Back to Jatara Parivartanasana. Lying down on our mats. The block is by the side of the left hip. Our hands are holding the mat vibrantly. Feet off the ground. Inhale. And exhale to the left. Knees coming to the elbow. And the abdomen, the lungs, the head turning to the right. Now we're going to inhale into the left lung, but we're going to exhale from the right shoulder blade to the left shoulder blade. So changing the place that we exhale from or into. Inhale into the left lung. And exhale the right shoulder blade to the left shoulder blade. One more time. Inhale into the bottom lung, the left lung. And exhale, move the right shoulder blade to the left shoulder blade. And bringing the legs back up, feet to the floor. Moving our block to the outside edge of the right hip, tucking it right in. Hands holding the mat, staying vibrant, feet off the ground. Inhale and exhale. Legs to the right elbow. Allow the abdomen to turn and twist to the left, the trunk turning, the head turning. Make the arms vibrant again. Inhaling into the right lung. And exhaling the left shoulder blade to the right shoulder blade. And again, inhaling into the right lung. And exhaling the left shoulder blade to the right shoulder blade. One more time, inhaling into the right lung. And exhaling the left shoulder blade to the right shoulder blade. And then bringing the legs back up. And exhale, releasing, and feet to the floor. Rolling back over. Moving the block to the side. And coming to Parivrita Parshvakonasana, preparation 1. So we want our right foot forward. Not like this, and not like that, but with the heel right underneath the knee. This left knee right underneath the hips. Elbows back, chest lifted. Urdhva Hastasana. So first we'll lift the arms and bring the outer elbows in towards each other. And now from there, inhale and lift the arms up to Urdhva Hastasana. Now palms together. Exhale, turning and twisting to the right. We don't want to get too deep to the thigh. We want there to be some space here. Each exhale helping us to turn and twist. And similarly to the last poses, we're going to directionalize our breath. So inhale, expand and fill the bottom lung. And then exhale the top shoulder blade down to the bottom shoulder blade. And one more time. Inhale, expand the bottom lung. And exhale the top shoulder blade down to the bottom shoulder blade. Coming out through Urdhva Hastasana. And exhaling the arms down and releasing. Changing sides. Making sure our alignments are correct. Urdhva Hastasana, outer elbows in. Inhaling, lift, palms together, relift. And exhaling, Parivrita Parshvakonasana, preparation 1. Okay, let's send the breath to those specific areas again now. Inhaling into the bottom lung. Exhaling the top shoulder blade to the bottom shoulder blade. And again, inhaling into that bottom lung. And exhaling the top shoulder blade to the bottom shoulder blade. Coming out through Urdhva Hastasana. Relift. And then exhale. And coming down. Coming to sit in Vajrasana. And as we sit, try to sit as much as possible with the heels, the inner heels touching each other. It's a little bit harder, a little bit more effort there. Parvatasana in Vajrasana. Interlock the fingers. Turn the palms out. Keep the tips of the thumbs touching. And inhale and lift the arms up. Keep lifting. Stretch the armpits. Relift. The tips of the thumbs touching. And the outer arms right here moving forward. And again, relift. Tips of the thumbs touching. Outer arms moving forward. And then coming back down. Releasing. Check in on your heels. Have they separated? Try to bring them together and to hold them together. The arms back up. Let's do the other side, the other interlock. Turn the palms out, tips of the thumbs touching. And inhale and lift. Make sure the elbows are straight. Keep the tips of the thumbs touching and move the outer arms forward. Keep lifting more and more, bringing that liftingness. And 2. And 1. Bringing the arms down and releasing. Parivrita Parshvakonasana, preparation 2. So you might need a block. And if you think you might need a block, this is where it's going to go. Right foot forward, as we started in preparation 1. The block will be here, waiting for your hands if needed. Urdhva Hastasana. Palms together, lift up. Exhale to the right, coming through our first stage. Using this top hand to move the thigh across so that we can really connect the outer armpit to the outer knee. Hand coming down to the block or the floor and stretching the right arm to the sky. Here we are in stage 2. Now notice that the abdomen is tense. Keep trying to soften the abdomen so that it can turn and twist and yield. And now directionalizing our breath. Inhale into the bottom lung. Exhale, move the right shoulder blade to the left, aiding us to twist. One more time, inhale into the bottom lung. Exhale, top shoulder blade to the bottom shoulder blade. And 2. And 1. Coming back out through Urdhva Hastasana. Relift. And exhaling down. And changing sides. So moving the block as needed. Left leg forward, right leg back. Urdhva Hastasana. Lift. Palms together. Relift. Exhale, coming through stage 1. Using that top hand to help move the thigh across so that we can really connect the outer armpit to the outer knee. Hand coming down and lifting the left arm to the sky. Establish presence. And now working with the breath in different areas. Inhale, expand the bottom lung. And with the exhale, move the top shoulder blade to the bottom shoulder blade. Keep the arms vibrant. And again, inhale into the bottom lung. And exhale, top shoulder blade to the bottom shoulder blade. And 2. And 1. Coming out through Urdhva Hastasana. Lift up, stretch both of the armpits. And then exhaling, coming down. And releasing. We're now going to come to Virasana. So you may need a block and you will need a strap. All right, if you need a block, it's going to go here. So you can put it there in preparation because you can always move it. Knees together, feet apart. Pull the calves back and out. And then come and sit on the block. Taking our strap. And let's place it around our legs here. Tightening up. Pulling our feet in so that we're really on the dorsal part of the foot. And then placing our hands on the outer skirting of the foot and pressing down. Lifting the chest up. The outer arms are going back. And this really helps the front shoulders to move back. If you feel you don't need the block, obviously, you're going to move it. Keep pressing down into the outside edges of the feet in order to lengthen the front spine, to lift up and move the outer arms back. Gomukhasana with our arms. Bring the left arm behind, bending the elbow, the dorsal part of the hand against the back as high as possible. Lift the right arm up, turn the arm, bending the elbow, hand to the shoulder. Don't let the elbow come out, scoop it in. Lift the elbow up. See if you can join hands behind the back or fingertips, whatever you can reach. Long, soft, smooth inhalations and exhalations. And now lift the chin to lift the cellular chest. Exhale, releasing. Virasana. Outer arms back. Sternum plate lifting. Changing sides. Bring the right arm behind, bending the elbow. Left arm up, palm faces the sky. Bend the elbow, find the shoulder. Don't let the elbow scoop out. Scoop it in as we bring the arm up. See if we can find and meet our hands together. Long, soft, smooth inhalations and exhalations. Keep pressing the front thighs down. Keep lifting the chin up to lift the chest upwards. And 2. And 1. Exhale, releasing. And coming down. Taking the strap off our legs, but staying in Virasana. Widening the knees apart a little bit. coming forward to Yoga Mudrasana. So let's take our strap and use it in the same way that we used the blanket, a memory of that. Placing it here, our hands are pulling the strap back. Let's lift our ribs up. As we come forward, we then hold the strap again, pulling back and down and finding Yoga Mudrasana in Virasana. Feeling the femur bones coming into the hip sockets. Feeling the sacrum broaden. And every third breath cycle, take a longer, deeper inhalation, a longer, deeper exhalation. And then coming back up, moving that to the side. Let's straighten our legs, finding Uttanasana, feet the width of the mat. Squeeze the knees up now, integrate the quadriceps, the femur bones into the hip sockets. Padangusthasana. First 2 fingers of each hand between the big toes and the index toes. Inhale, look up, re-grip the knees, the thighs. And then exhale, pulling ourselves forward to Padangusthasana. And then coming back down to the mat. Okay, we need a strap, we need a blanket, and depending on the flexibility of your legs, you might need a second strap to take hold of the foot. We're going to do some forward bends. Janu Shirshasana first. So the blanket's folded. Oops, let's neaten mine up a little bit. And placing the blanket on the left-hand side of the mat. Coming to sit on that corner. The left leg is straight in line with the left hip. The right knee is bent. Taking the strap and making a nice big loop in the strap. And then folding that in half. And we're going to place this behind the knee like this. And then bring the foot back in, heel to the groin. Now with the hand, pull away and down. And now lift up and pull away and back. That's it. Now slide the strap up to the groin, the inner groin. And pull up, away and back. And feel the skin cells activate there. Want to keep that memory, but we're going to move the strap back to behind the knee to be bringing space to the back of the knee. So the inner groin is rolling back. The back of the knee has space. Starting from Urdhva Hastasana. Turning to the left so that we're facing forward over that left leg. And we're going to exhale and reach forward and hold the outside edge of the foot with our right hand. So our first action is going to be to turn and twist to the left. And as we twist, we want to keep rolling that inner groin back. Soften the abdomen, let it yield, let it turn, let it twist. And send each exhale to the bent leg to roll the inner groin back. And now the left hand is going to cross over the right and hold the inner foot. And we're pulling ourselves forward. Keep exhaling, rolling the inner groin of the bent leg backwards. And now we're going to change the direction where we place the exhale. On our next exhale, we're going to roll the right abdomen towards the left so that we feel that we're bringing our right belly button to the front of that left thigh. And looking up, preparing to come out through Urdhva Hastasana so that we reclaim the liftingness. And exhaling down. Changing legs. So we just want to flip the blanket so that we're staying on the neat edge of the blanket, away from the little fringes, sitting on the corner. Right leg extended in line with the hip. And the left leg is bent. Strap behind the knee, holding the strap and activating. First lifting up, let me move so you can see a bit, and then pulling forward and just feeling that space behind the knee. And then we move the strap a little bit this way, pull up and pulling back. And now let's move the strap right up to the inner groin and just activate the skin, our sensitivity there, the muscle. Lift up and pull the strap back, roll it. Feel the inner groin rolling back. Memorize that sensation. And then let's move the strap back to behind the knee to keep space in the knee. Starting from Urdhva Hastasana, lifting. And then exhaling, twisting to the right. The left hand holds the outside edge of the foot. And our first action is this twistingness. Now sending each exhale to the bent leg, to the groin of the bent leg, and rolling that inner groin back with each exhale. And now changing the exhale to the abdominal area, and with each exhale, rolling the left abdomen to the right. And then the right hand is going to cross over the left and hold the inside edge of the foot as we exhale, coming forward to Janu Sirsasana. Keep rolling the bent leg back, the inner groin moving back. And keep turning the abdomen from the left to the right. Coming out through Urdhva Hastasana. Lifting up. And then coming back down. And undoing. Okay, 2 straps now. And you may wish to have more than 1 blanket. This is going to depend on your hips. We're going to do Baddha Konasana. So if you know that in Baddha Konasana your knees have a tendency to lift up very high, take more height, take a bolster and a blanket on top of it, and it'll be better for your knees to open that way. Okay, we're going to make a big loop in the other strap, the same action that we just did with that one. Halve it and place it behind one knee, pulling back, the inner groin rolling back. Okay, and the other one going behind the other knee. The hands holding the straps and pulling back and down. Back and down as we come forward, if possible, to Yoga Mudrasana. Keep the hands active as they were on the blankets, pulling back and down. The inner groins are rolling back like they were in Janu Sirsasana. If you need a block for the forehead, of course, take the supports that are needed. And keep exploring the action of the inner groin rolling back. The hands pulling the straps back and down. The outside edge of the feet pressing against each other. Make sure the hands stay active and useful. And emerging and removing our straps. Okay, keeping the straps to the side, we're going to come back to one of them, and we're now going to take a bolster. And if you don't have a bolster, rolling up blankets in order to make a bolster shape. Okay, just having this bolster here for now. We're going to be using one of the straps. So we're going to bring our right leg into Padmasana, bringing the hands underneath and offering the foot up into Ardha Padmasana. Nice and high. This foot is underneath. Okay, strap. I'm going to put this strap around our legs in a figure 8. So you can already, to make things a bit easier, create the figure 8. So you've got one loop. There you go. Around one knee and holding the foot. And this around this knee and tightening up. Tightening ourselves right in. As tight as possible. This bottom foot, make sure it's contained. Okay, taking our bolster, moving back a little bit, and coming up. Bolster coming in. We're coming forward. And then we're moving forward until our inner knees are on the bolster. Forearms on the ground. Press down into the forearms and move the chest forward. See if you can feel the skin of the abdominal cavity stretching, if you can feel the ribs lifting and broadening. Press the middle buttocks down. The inner groins rolling to the outer groins. Keep pressing into those forearms to try to move the sternum chest forward to get that length in the front body. And then coming back out, sliding back down to sitting. Okay, let's take the strap off our legs and change sides. And we're going to take the foot from underneath, offering that left foot up to ourselves, placing it nice and high. And then making our figure 8 with the strap. And goes over this knee and holds the bottom foot. Goes over this knee and then we tighten in. Okay. Tightening ourselves right in. Bringing our bolster in. Coming up. And over. And then moving forward so the inner knees are on the bolster. Forearms are pressing down. And as we press down into the forearms, we find a bracingness in the upper back. The lats in, the shoulder blades going down the back, and the cellular chest moving forward. That length coming to the abdominal cavity. Traveling to your inner groins, roll them to the outer groins. Try not to let the buttocks poke up, pressing the middle buttock down, and keep the forearms very active to keep moving the sternum forward, to keep lengthening the front spine. And then coming out. And taking that strap off. Releasing. Okay, let's come to Shirshasana with a little bit of similar leg work going on. So you can always use a wall if there's still some feeling of unsteadiness in Shirshasana. Coming in. Arms up, turn the palms to the sky, bend the elbows, and hands to the shoulders, scoop the outer elbows in. Coming forward, place the elbows there, forearms to the ground, interlock the fingers, tips of the thumbs touching. Now brace the arms and the shoulders. Press the forearms down and forward and lift the shoulders up and back, lats in. Feel that strength there. And then bringing the crown of the head onto the floor, the hands holding the back of the skull. Straightening the legs, walking the feet in. Bending the knees, coming through stage 1, lift the shoulders up. Keeping the knees bent, coming to stage 2, lifting the legs so the kneecaps now face the sky. So we're in Vajrasana in Shirshasana. And now straightening the legs completely and being in Shirshasana 1. Keep lifting the shoulders up, pressing the forearms down. Charging up the length of the legs, up to the sky.
Make sure that the breath is smooth, that it's not disturbing the pose. Now we're going to bend the left leg back to Vajrasana. So bending the left knee so that the left heel comes close to the left buttock. And now we're going to bend the right leg like Janu Sirsasana leg, where the heel comes close to the groin, the knee moves out to the side, and the inner groin rolls to the outer groin. You can press the sole of the right foot against the inside edge of the left thigh. Roll that right inner groin to the outer groin, over and over again. And then straighten the right leg to the sky, and then straighten the left leg. Sirsasana 1. Now bending the right leg to Virasana. So bending the knee, the right heel is coming to the right buttock. And then bending the left leg to Janu Sirsasana leg, where the knee opens to the side, the inner groin is rolling to the outer groin, and the sole of the left foot is pressing against the inside edge of the right thigh. You can also look at it as a Baddha Konasana leg. So the left side is in Baddha Konasana and the right side is in Vajrasana. And now straighten the left leg back up. Unfold the right leg, Sirsasana 1. Press down into the forearms, lift the shoulders up. And again, bending the left leg to Vajrasana, so the left heel comes towards the buttocks. Bringing the right leg to Ardha Baddha Konasana or Janu Sirsasana, bent leg, inner groin rolling to the outer groin. And now just moving the foot to Ardha Padmasana as best as we can, still the inner groin rolling to the outer groin. Now the dorsal part of the right foot is against the front of the left thigh. And 3, and 2, and 1. Straightening the right leg to the sky. Straightening the left leg, Sirsasana. Now bending the right leg to Vajrasana, the heel to the buttock. Bringing the left leg to Ardha Baddha Konasana or Janu Sirsasana leg. And from here, finding Ardha Padmasana, just moving the foot across. Inner groin rolling to the outer groin. Relift the shoulders and then straighten the left leg to the sky. Straighten the right leg, Sirsasana. And now bending both legs to Vajrasana. Bringing the knees towards the face into stage 1 of Sirsasana. Press down into the forearms, lift the shoulders up. And then unfolding feet to the ground. Yoga Mudrasana in Vajrasana.
And from here, coming to Padahastasana. Feet spread the width of the mat. Hands underneath the feet. Inhale, look up. Squeeze the knees and the thighs up. Femur bones into the hip sockets. And exhaling forward. Freeing the neck completely. Broadening the shoulders. Getting that lightness in the buttocks, really lifting them to the sky. And removing the hands, bending the knees, and coming back down. Sarvangasana. So taking whatever you need for Sarvangasana, and let's meet back on the mat. The loop is ready to put over our arms so that they're parallel behind us. If you need a little help coming into the pose, you can always bring the blankets a little closer and walk your feet up the wall to come over. And let's come into Sarvangasana. Rolling over. Placing our arms through the strap. Preparing the shoulders by rolling those front shoulders back. The outer arms are pressing down to the ground. Feel that firmness there. And then releasing the hands, place the hands on the back. Bending the knees, stage 1, Sarvangasana. Bringing the kneecaps to the sky, so we're in Vajrasana in Sarvangasana, stage 2. And then straightening the legs into Sarvangasana. Make sure that the outer skirting of the feet is being pulled down towards the hips. The femur bones coming into the hip sockets. The outer arms pressing down and the hands pressing the back ribs up. And now observing the breath. Is it disturbing the pose or aiding the pose? Now bending the left knee to Vajrasana and the right leg to Baddha Konasana, pressing the sole of the right foot against the left inner thigh. Rolling the inner groin of that bent leg to the outer groin. And then straightening that right leg to the sky, straightening the left leg, Sarvangasana. Now the right leg bending to Vajrasana, and the left leg to Baddha Konasana, Janu Sirsasana leg, the sole of the foot pressing against the inner thigh, and the inner groin rolling to the outer groin. And now straightening the left leg to the sky, straightening the right leg and finding again Sarvangasana.
Left leg to Vajrasan. Right leg to Ardha Baddha Konasana. And now with an exhale, bring the leg to Ardha Padmasana and roll the inner groin to the outer groin. And then straighten the right leg, straighten the left leg, Sarvangasana. Right leg to Vajrasan, left leg Ardha Baddha Konasana. Inhale, and with an exhale, moving the foot to Ardha Padmasana. Inner groin rolling to the outer groin. And then straighten the left leg to the sky, straighten the right, Sarvangasana. Reach up, back ribs in and up. Outer arms pressing down. Charge up. And now bending the knees, Vajrasan and Sarvangasana. Bringing the knees towards the face, stage 1. Unfolding the legs, the feet coming to the ground behind. And releasing the strap from our arms. Bending the knees towards the forehead. And then bringing each of our inner knees to their respective outer ears. Karnapidasana. Wrap the arms around the backs of the knees, holding at the elbows, the upper arms. Soft, smooth inhalations and exhalations. Changing the cross of the arms. Slowing the breath down. Evening it out. And then fingertips to the ground, slowly, one vertebrae at a time, coming out. And immediately moving ourselves backwards so that we're lying in a natural Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. The sacrum hips are lifted, the shoulders, shoulder blades are on the mat. The chest is open. Soft, smooth inhalations and exhalations. Feel the abdomen pooling and melting towards the lower back. And then moving backwards even more, so that our lower back is on the mat. Shove the blankets forward a little bit. And just crossing the ankles, Sukhasana, on the blankets. Extending the arms diagonally away, re-rolling each front shoulder back and adjusting those shoulder blades. Making sure that the entire lumbar arch is supported by the ground. And then delicately closing the eyelids over the eyeballs. Feeling the temples flowing into the hairline, the hair flowing into the mat. The root of the tongue completely receding and pacifying. The hips heavy. The legs completely relaxing. Now changing the cross of the ankles, moving slowly in that state of liquefaction. Everything is unclenching and heavy and melting. And now we're going to roll over onto the right hand side of our bodies with gentleness. The right arm is underneath the right ear, supporting the skull. And then coming back up.
Placing the palms together in front of the chest. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And then lowering the hands, the eyelids gently opening. And welcome back. Our practice is complete. Congratulations for showing up for yourself. I hope you feel better in all ways. And I hope we practice again together soon. Namaste. Take good care.